Okay, wine number three for July is from Roberto Henriquez, and it's the Tierra de Pumas, Pais. Tierra de Pumas translates to Cougar Country or Cougar Land, and hey, where we are, Columbia High School Cougars, right? That's the analogy I'm maybe going for. Um, Roberto Enriquez in Chile is sort of like the master. We've been dealing with lots of masters here, just as the Pepe Reventos is the Prince of Pinedas. He's sort of the master of Pais in Chile. Pais is a grape that the Spanish explorers and conquerors, I guess you could put them together, or sometimes maybe separate them, brought over with them from Spain. It's native to Canary Islands, which was sort of the last stop before coming over to the New World, especially with the slave trade. But these grapes have been there for 400 years plus, and the grapes, in fact, in this one are over from vines that are over 200 years old. It's a grape that really has been sort of forgotten in Chile, and also where else it grows in Mexico, in California, where it's known as the mission grape, and it has the name mission grape again because it was brought over technically brought over by missionaries, actually, who came over with on the heels of the explorer conquerors, and it was made to make sacramental wine, and originally what is now New Mexico, but now. As in Chile, and what are you finding in California is that some of these producers are finding these old mission vines and not making kind of a junky wine from them, but using the resources to today to make something much more interesting, much more palatable. So that's what's happened in Chile, and they use these very old methods of winemaking. A pepeño is what it's called. It's a lot of open vats and old wood, and everything is kind of hand picked. And these are up in the mountains. A lot of these grapes. The grape is kind of came to we'll call it popularity recently, just because it is a grape that is savory in nature, can be made in a low intervention style. So it makes it great for food. It is low tannins and yet has acidity and again some nice rich fruit flavor with that savory touch. So great with food and takes a chill really well. So as really as the concept of chillable reds has started to become more and more popular, and that started happening, I'd say, a few years ago. One of the things co-writer, club member Valerie Stivers and I put into one of her columns a couple of years ago, which was focused on New Mexico, about how it was a prominent grape down there, and how chillable red wines are a thing. And of course, who's doing his July wine school on chillable reds this year? But my stalker Eric Asimov. But I digress. So Roberto Enriquez has really made it his mission to take a lot of these old found grapes. He works with select small growers, and he makes a number of different pais, all from sort of older vines, anywhere from 100 to 200 plus year old vines, single location, different styles. This one happens to be maybe growing in some iron rich. You'll find an iron, not metallic taste, but you'll find like an iron taste in there. But but again, still a savory fruit nature to this thing. A little bit lower in alcohol. Definitely try it with a little bit of a chill. I wouldn't say ice cold, but stick it in the fridge for an hour, half hour even. And I think you'll find it great with summer grilled meats. Especially if it's a meal that's being accompanied by vegetables and salads and things of that nature too. So I think that's where it really will shine. It's an interesting wine. It's a good wine to know. There's other versions of it out there. I've even seen some canned versions now. And when we wrote last summer a big review on canned wine for Food 52, Valerie and I, I think I might have actually used the quote in there that Pais was made for canned wine. It's I think it's something that you think of canned wine as something you do chill for a bit, and you want something that's kind of refreshing and and has a little bit of a savory edge to it, and I think that's what this grape does. So again, Henriquez has a number of different Pais. I got this one because it is the most interesting. Also, a very highly rated wine. So, ratings we said are subjective. It really comes down to what you like. But I found it interesting that across the board, this had significantly high ratings. We're talking like low to mid 90s by some of the top reviewers. So. I'll be curious to see what you think. It might be somewhat polarizing just because it is a little bit different from some of the other wines that we're used to. But I think it's a good one to know and to be aware of and to enjoy. There we go. That's it. Thank you again, as always, and I'll see you soon.